keeping women's sports to a level playing field of just biological women. A leading moms organization calling on the U.S. Senate to pass a bill to protect women's sports and female athletes. Now, House Republicans, they passed the bill in April. The group Moms for America, they're hosting a press conference this afternoon. They're going to have members of Congress, they're going to have female athletes and their moms with them. Today we have Debbie Kraulidis joining us, the Vice President of Moms for America. Good to see you. And then Macy Petty as well, an NCAA volleyball player. Good to have both of you on here, and such a important topic, really, that is coming to light right now, and more people are speaking out about this topic. So let me start with Debbie, if I can. Moms for America saying this: every athlete deserves the opportunity to compete, but it must be fair, it must be safe. Can you tell us about the significance of what is called the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act of 2023 and what we can expect from today's press conference?
You know, Sean, thank you very much for the invite. We're so glad to be here. Moms for America is seeing this issue rising to the top. Moms are extremely concerned about the safety and fairness of their girls being able to compete. This is a mama bear issue. We want our girls, our women, to be able to compete safely, fairly. And we are gathering today in Washington, D.C. with, like you said, some top athletes to share their stories, legislators to ask the Senate to pass this bill. We do not want this laying dormant, stagnant. We don't want them to forget about women. Women should be competing against women. We want biological men to compete against biological men. We want fair sports for women and safe sports for women. This is a huge issue. To us, it is very much common sense. And I think really most Americans believe that women should be competing against biological women. This is not a man's sport. This is a women's sport.
And talking about competition, someone who is no stranger to that is Macy Petty. We're pleased to have you on, Macy. Can you elaborate a little bit? Have you had any experience playing against a biological male or a transgender woman in your experience within the NCAA or perhaps in high school?
I have, yes. It was actually during my recruiting process. So I am a college volleyball player. Sports means so much to me. That's how I'm paying for school and getting the education that I am. And during the process of showing off the skills that I had been working my entire life to build, I had to play against a biological male who identified as female. And because of that, he was exempt from the basic rules of volleyball that say that men have to play on one team and girls have to play on another. And something about volleyball is men's nets are actually over 7 inches higher than female nets. So this athlete was playing on a net over 7 inches shorter than he should have as a man. But because of his feelings and his identity, ruling over basic biology and reality, he was exempt from that and could crush all the girls in volleyball and jeopardize our chances of getting a college scholarship.
And Macy, I don't mean to get to intimate details, but at least there were some athletes that have come on this show and shared experiences off the court of competing, where changing in locker rooms, etc., being on those types of teams. Maybe you didn't experience that, but can you speak to that, having, again, a biological male or transgender woman changing in locker rooms? Do you think that each female athlete is comfortable with being in a situation like that?
Absolutely not. And you see this happening earlier and earlier. Elementary school kids, middle school kids, these are young girls who are already kind of uncomfortable with their bodies and learning and growing, and forcing them to change and undress in front of a male who might also be stripping down and showing his genitalia. It makes me sick. And it's kind of absurd to me that there are people out there who are fighting for this and wanting to put little girls in this position.
Or vote against it. Again, we'll see what happens there with the Senate Moms for America. Debbie Kraulidis joining us again. Yes. I believe a press briefing later today. We'll listen to that. Macy Petty, best to you. I know it takes a lot of courage to come on national TV and talk about a subject like this. I know a lot of women out there do appreciate that. Thanks to you both.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you so much.